showing up. As always, I do appreciate all of my viewers and subscribers, and this is my own personal psychic downloads and impressions. So please do your own research. But what we're going to do is we are going to take a look at the Princess Royal, Princess Anne, who is one of my favorite royals because she is just no nonsense and extraordinarily dignified and super cool in general. So we looked at Queen Camilla in the first part of this reading. So let's take a look at Princess Anne. And again, we're using the Crowley Thoth Tarot. So I'd like to remind everyone that cards are a little bit different. The court is most obviously different. We have princesses, princes, queens. Thought that was a queen. And knights. Knights are representative of the kings in the ordinary, regular tarot deck that you are familiar with. So let's take a look at Princess Anne's disposition. Right now, today, it is Sloppy Shuffle Tuesday, February 6th, 12:09 p.m. New York time. So, Princess Anne, how are we doing, love? How are we doing? I should say ma'am, not love. I don't think she'd appreciate that. And again, I just want to let you guys know, I don't read the Thoth in reverse. I read this deck in the upright. Prince and Princess of Swords showed up again. These showed up in some of Camilla's readings. We have the Star, Dominant Energy, Prince of Cups on the bottom. So we have the Two of Wands over here, which is Dominion. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We all are familiar with the Wheel of Fortune. We did see this in Camilla's reading as well, as Queen Camilla's reading as well. We have the Seven of Discs, which are pentacles in the Thoth Tarot. We have the Prince of Swords and the Princess of Swords. Remember what I said. This is Princess is really our page and the Prince is our knight. So we're moving forward. This is a very aggressive energy on her part. This is someone who is at war. Her disposition is really at war with, I think, the situation at hand. So trying to split the responsibilities, but there is a bit of chaos with this Wheel of Fortune. We're really trying to take control of the Wheel of Fortune, though it is upright, because of the variety of royal family members that are, for lack of a better term, on break, convalescing. They're really trying to disperse the responsibilities to everyone. And that is this Seven of Pentacles. Now, in the Crowley keyword is failure. But traditionally, when we're looking at sevens, this is looking backward and seeing what we could do better, how we can make adjustments for a fairer outcome. So in the AE Rider-Waite deck, this is a farmer who's looking at his crops. When I teach the tarot in my course, this seven, I always say we're fine-tuning. We're trying to figure out what worked, what didn't work. So I think this is really taking the helm as to the responsibility. She is the hardest working royal family member. And I do think that she is parceling out the responsibilities as needed with a clear and easy head. I think she is very, very rational about it. Pentacles are very slow moving energy. So I do think that she is going through things step by step to make sure that all the things are passed out to the appropriate family members. If Queen Camilla, is taking charge of the king and his matters and his health, and is taking charge of the rest of the family. She is becoming the head. When we get the prince and princess together, they also are working together to create something bigger. These two, you don't have to consider them brother and sister. You can consider them male and female that are coming together to birth something much, much stronger. If there was a Gorgon in the royal family, I would call her the Princess Royale. So I do think that she is coming to the fore extraordinarily, very, very strong in this case. And she's doing it with the utmost emotional respect. I think now more than ever in her life, she is representing a high level of emotional intelligence. Prior to this time, I think her emotional intelligence, she could be a bit more cutting and curt and I don't want to say dismissive, but definitive. She was much more definitive. I think her heart is opening a little bit because she does see that everyone has been kind of beaten down by a series of events. And I think that she is coming to the fore with much more careful care and attention to everyone. Specifically, I think William, I think she's coming to him and saying, I am at your service. I will help you through this. I will help Queen Camilla through this. I think she really is extending herself to those two major players. Now, up here, we have the star. She's very hopeful about the whole situation. We are going to get through this. We have been through so many things together as a family. We will conquer this as well. And like I said, she is going to war. But I love the image of her giving these two elements of her coming together and giving birth to a Gorgon that's going to fight for the family. If Camilla is going to be the heart and the nurse Florence Nightingale, she is going to be the warrior for the family. So good for her. Expect nothing less. Expect nothing less. So let's take a look at her health. She does appear to be fairly healthy. We're not hearing much about her in terms of that. So what is Princess Anne's health herself? You know, stress will conquer the body if you allow it to do so. So it is important to have that stress relief. For me, it used to be running. I loved running. Oh, run forever. Her health, disappointment. We have art, which is the temperance card, but this is a little bit different in the Thoth Tarot. We have the 9 of Wands, the 3 of Discs, and the Tower card. Oh, for Pete's sake, why do we have that Tower card there? And then Heart of the Matter, we have the 10 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles under the surface. So, disappointment is not with her own health. I think it's with the landscape of health in her family. I think that is something that is upsetting to her. Now, once upon a time, I had a boss that was friends with Dr. Michael Bodden. He's a very famous forensic doctor. He worked on the OJ case, and he had said, "Tell me how." To my former boss, tell me how your parents died and how your grandparents died. I'm going to tell you how you died, which is very upsetting to me because my grandparents had longevity. I don't want to be 90 years old and still here. I don't know what the world's going to be like, but God bless my family for having longevity. But I think the landscape of health for the royal family is a bit of a disappointment, and it's something that she now has to concern herself with in terms of, what she needs to pay attention to. And I can almost see her rolling her eyes like, oh, great, bother, now this. Um, but this temperance card is alchemy in the purest sense. You can see that our two-faced alchemist is blending water and fire and creating gold. They're creating something very different here. It's very different from the temperance card because this is actually bringing manifestation to the fore. We are making amazing magic in this card. So, though we are disappointed about potential issues that could come up, the magic that can be done to either rectify or hold those things at bay, she firmly believes in. And we have the Nine of Wands, which is strength, is our keyword in this. The Nine of Wands is standing firm after the battle while still waging the war, licking our wounds and taking it like a man. She is taking this like a man. There's an incredible amount of masculine energy that comes off her, not in a negative or a brutish sense, but just her spine is made of steel. She is just a tremendous strength of character. It's really quite something to do a reading on her. The Three of Pentacles here is works, coming together, working with the tools that you have and the individuals that are at your disposal. So if she could have led an army, she would have been a fantastic general. She really would have been, because she sees through the emotion and the frippery and the decoration of people and gets directly to their core and understands instinctively what their strengths and weaknesses are, and she can pluck from the masses those that are going to match her strength, or at least be complementary to her strength. So, she would lead an army, like a Khaleesi. She would lead an army of warriors just to, victory in any sense of the word. So this is her bringing together those forces, bringing together those people that are going to best represent the family, that are going to best represent the success of this trial that the family is going through. So she is really terrific in that. Now we get this Tower. If we're looking at her health and she's bringing together all of these forces, she's bringing together she's standing firm after possibly, seeing all of these red flags within the family and bringing together all of these things. We get this Tower card, and I do have to pull a clarifier because I'm not sure what that means. So I'm going to pull one right from the middle of the deck, and we get that Prince of Cups. So I think the emotion that she's stuffing, and if you notice, there's just this one emotion. She gets disappointed with health and then kind of moves on from it very professionally, very matter of fact, very logically. So I think that the pressure of stuffing that emotion and managing the rest of the team is going to take its toll on her. Possibly she will, need a break, need to take her foot off the gas at some point. So health-wise, I think we're going to see that. We'll look at her mental health next. So this is probably a mental health kind of stress. Up here, physical health is solid. This disappointment, knowing the logistics of the genetic predispositions for certain things, I think this is giving her, she's got a clean bill of health right now. She's probably in the doctor's office, making sure that they check her from tip to toe and make sure that everything is in place. Here, the things that she has been doing have been in alignment with good health, working forward. I think everyone is going to make minor adjustments to the things that they eat and drink. And that's not to say all organic or anything like that. But there's something about drinking alcohol. I'm getting this, we're going to have to limit the gin. We're going to have to limit, the cocktails that we have. And I'm not sure why that is coming through very strongly here with her. I don't think that there's an issue with it, but I think there's something about the connection between certain ailments and having that nightcap, having that drink after dinner. There's something about that. I'm not sure what it is, but again, I want to stress, I don't think this is an over usage of something. It has something to do with it opens a gateway to other issues. So let's take a look now at her mental health. Let's take a look at that. Six of Cups, nostalgia, and Seven of Cups. Hangman. So mental health, we have this excess of fun going on here. So, Six of Cups is having a great time, having pleasure, feeling good, doing things, that having that delicious moussey confection, downing that third gin and tonic because they just are so good in the summertime. Having a hot toddy at 11 o'clock in the morning because you do have the sniffles and it's a rainy day. And I'm sorry, I'm associating these all with alcohol, but it is cups. So, um, doing the things that feel good. But we do get into this situation with debauchery on the Seven of Cups. So we get too much of a good thing. We go to the plat. And I like to, in situations like this, I like to refer to the movie Bedazzled, where Elizabeth Hurley plays the devil. Brendan Fraser is in it as well. It's a hilarious movie if you haven't seen it. But she owns a club, and when she is courting Brendan Fraser, the club is like fabulous and everyone's beautiful. And then the next day he comes back, or it's in the morning, it's like several days later. And it's everyone, they're dead, they're all gross, and like their clothes are falling off and they just look disgusting, and the club like really looks dead and rotted. So it's almost that, like, we've gotten to the point where the ugly lights come on. We say that here in the US at 2 a.m. in the bars, when the ugly lights come on and you really see the person you've been dancing with all night. It's just an excess. So this excess, there's going to be something tied to the circumstance that King Charles is going through right now, the medical circumstance, that there's, an A plus B equals C. This is how you wind up here. So let's eliminate A or B. We've got to take some of that out of the equation. So we all learn from this, we get into that hangman moment where we say, okay, I have to look at the reality of how the way I have conducted myself has affected myself and others around me. This is our come to Jesus moment. So we do have to kind of stop and ruminate. Now, this moon card is the opening into our intuition, into opening those channels to other worlds, and getting in touch with our ethereal self, our highest self, our God, our universe, spirit, Gaia, whatever it is that is your higher calling, your higher being that you give responsibility over to, that you conduct yourself in honor of them. This is opening those channels for her. She is opening them up and she is going to throw herself upon the mercy of her God and say, this is who I am. This is what I've done. This is power of prayer that we have going on with this hangman and the moon. We're really appealing to our God. The royal family is very religious. They do go to church. They are keepers of the faith. It is not a surprise that her mental health is going in this direction. She is leaning very hard into prayer. I think that's a great thing. A lot of people say that tarot readers, we're doing the devil's work and all that. And not true. In fact, my 12-week course that I have, we just covered tarot and spirituality. And one of the things that I do like to stress to my students is that you can read tarot and still be a good Christian, still be a good Jew, still be a good, Buddhist, whatever you are. You still can do that. There are people that say, oh, there's passages in the Bible. But when you use tarot to guide people to their best lives, when you use tarot to help them out of a sticky situation, I say find the yellow brick road. When you use tarot to conduct advisement in that fashion, to show someone how they can behave or things that they can do to navigate through those troubling times, we really are spiritual counselors, and we really are healing the human soul and healing the human existence. So, me seeing that she is leaning into prayer and leaning into her church and leaning into her God, I think is, very, very appropriate. We do that too as readers and as psychics. This will bring her a great peace of mind. It will bring her great peace of mind. She will feel restored and renewed in the basking in the glory of her God and asking for that. Now, up here, we do get this overwhelming sense of disappointment, and we do have cascading cards here. So we've got the 5, which is her dominant energy. We have the 6, and we go into the 7 of debauchery. So when we're looking at the numerology of this is our dominant energy. She's disappointed, leaning into pleasure, leaning into almost going overboard. These are things that have happened. The disappointment is a result of this behavior, and seeing that it is pointing into a direction of maybe poorer health, maybe not so great health, mental health included. So the disappointment that she sees is going to be bandaged by her relationship with her God. Under the surface, we have the 6 of Swords, which is science. Under the surface, science is ruling. Science is something that she has faith in as well, which is sometimes conflicting for people that are of certain faiths. They can either believe in the power of prayer, they can believe wholeheartedly in God, or they can believe in the science of things. So she's reconciling those 2 bits of her life. So I do think she's struggling a little bit, as one would, with several people in the family sick and on the bench, so to speak. But she is going to really lean into her God and her faith to restore herself. And I think that that's a good thing. So what advice would I give Princess Royale? But what advice would I give her? I wouldn't give her any advice. I would ask her for advice, because I think she's fabulous. So what advice would I give her if she were my client? If she were my client. This Thoth Tarot deck is huge. That's why I'm really struggling with shuffling. It's also very cold in my basement today. We have a fireplace down here, but I did not turn it on. It's an electric fireplace. So learn, my dear. Learn from your past experiences. Oh, there we go. Lean into that faith. Open up that eye. And there we go. Look at this. Cards don't lie. We're getting the same cards all over again. Cards don't lie. And there's our 6 of Swords popping up. I'm taking it from the middle of the deck just because we have the Empress there. Oh, Beautiful, beautiful. So pulling from the center of the deck, and there's our star, everlasting hope and faith under the surface is defeat. So I'm going to start with the under the surface card, this Five of Swords, which is defeat. That is the key word on the Thoth Tarot. I do not want that to become a dominant energy. This is what this energy underneath the shadow self here. This is the energy that we don't want anyone else to see. We don't want anyone else to see our weakness. We don't want anyone else to see us falling apart. And that's her secret that she keeps. Don't worry about that, madam, because, or ma'am, I think ma'am is what you call them after the first time. I don't know. I don't know what her preference is. I've never met the Princess Royal. So the Hanged Man and the Moon. This is throwing ourselves again onto the feet of God and saying, please help me through this. This will help her. It's been stressed in this advisement spread. So this will restore you. Science will surprise you. That is also, we can have faith and we can have science at the same time. So the science will create the magic that our gods provide for us when we ask for it. So that is the magic that I want her to be aware of, that, faith is not empty prayer. It's not empty, appealing to a God that does not respond. We will see God respond. And the Empress, which is, I think this is our late Majesty, the Queen, showing up to give her further comfort and to make her feel in those quieter moments, she will feel the hand of the late Queen Elizabeth on her shoulder, bearing her up and helping her through those lower moments and telling her to ignore this feeling of defeat, this fear of defeat, to banish this from the dark corners of our soul. And up here, hope springs eternal. And I think this is the message from Her late Majesty, the Queen, to the Princess Royal, is that hope does spring eternal, that there is always a light, even when it is darkest, and that light will guide you to your best end, to your greatest achievements and to your greatest moments in life. So I do hope that this and my Queen Camilla reading have been uplifting. I hope that I did have some fun readings today or this week, going toe to toe with some people that had posted really negative stuff on some of my readings. So I responded to them, but I wanted to do something a little bit cheerier. I wanted you guys to get some advisement and see me at my best. So I'm going to post both of these up today. So today's the 6th. You guys are going to get 4 readings out of me today. 4. So I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And I hope to see you guys back soon. Have a great day.